Hey guys, so you've put in the range time. You feel that you're ready to compete? But where do you start? There are many different competitions and groups. USPSA, IPSC, 3-gun. Well, today we're going to start with USPSA. I am a card-carrying member, and if you want to start competing, you probably should be too. It helps with match entry fees, and it looks really cool in your wallet. So, when you're done watching this, go to uspsa.org and go sign up in the Join USPSA category. Probably one of the most important things to know about USPSA matches is the scoring and basic operations of a USPSA match. There are 3 types of targets that we shoot in USPSA competitions. The first 2 are different versions of a silhouette-style cardboard target, called the metric and the classic target. The metric target is more commonly used in the United States and actually looks like a silhouette. The classic target is more commonly used in European matches. They are both scored with each target having specific scoring zones, A, B, C, and D. I've taken the liberty of tracing the perforated lines on both of these targets so that you guys can clearly see what is going on. The further away from the center, the lower the score value. The metric target has a B zone, the classic target does not. Although the metric target does not have a B zone, the C zone and B zone are scored the same. The last type of target is a steel reactive target that must fall to score. These may take the form as a hinged popper style target, or maybe a round or square plate that must be shot over to score. All steel counts as an A zone hit when it is shot and knocked over. Scoring. Scoring is based on where your bullet penetrates the target. If your bullet penetrates the perimeter of 2 separate scoring sections, you get the higher score. There is also a scoring line surrounding the entire edge of the target. If your bullet penetrates that line, it counts as a D and not as a miss. Power factor. When competing, accuracy, speed, and power are the 3 most important parts to your ammo. This is where the power becomes significant. The more power, the heavier the recoil. The longer it will take you to bring your sights back on target and shoot again. The idea is that the ammunition with a heavier recoil should have a leveling factor applied to it, so that those shooting 45 ACP and those shooting a lighter recoil 9mm rounds are evenly matched. The idea of a power factor uses a simple formula relating the weight of the bullet and the muzzle velocity to determine an energy rating for that particular round out of that particular handgun. This number is then used to determine if you are able to make major or minor power factor for your scoring. Minor power factor is 125 and major is 165 in USPSA competition. Production division is the only division that forces all competitors to be scored minor power factor so that the other divisions are acutely aware of making sure that they get the scoring advantage of the higher recoiling ammunition. But also notice that accuracy trumps them all in the end. If you can shoot A-zone hits, it doesn't matter what power factor you score, as you will always make 5 points for every hit. However, failing to make minor results in your match not being scored. I've seen many competitors get all the way to a match, and when asked for some rounds out of their mag to be chronoed, they don't make minor, and all their time and money was wasted for nothing. Basically, if you run too close to the lower power factor, your whole match is out the window. You will soon understand why a chronograph becomes a must for your ammo development. Chrono your ammo before leaving to any match if you are unsure. Penalties. Mics and no-shoots, every shooter's worst enemy. Engaging a target and missing completely is referred to as a mic and is a penalty of 10 points. Hitting a white no-shoot target is worth the same 10-point penalty. So if you're shooting a stage and you come across this, you need to slow down and hit this, not this. Okay. Hitting one of those no-shoots can knock your score down significantly, and you will spend the rest of your match double timing to make up for it. Been there, done that. Mics and no-shoots are the most common scoring penalties and yet are some of the easiest to avoid. When it comes to a no-shoot, be very cautious. It's worth it to slow down and take 2 seconds, even 3, to make sure you make that exact hit on your target and not hit the no-shoot. Rather than flying through, hitting the no-shoot, missing completely on another target and getting 10 seconds added to your time, basically any amount you take that is shorter than 10 seconds is the right thing to do. Shoot as fast as your ability allows you to. As long as you're seeing your sights on every shot, you're doing good. Anyone can rapid fire through a stage. We've all seen that guy. It's not just about time. If you have a slower time, but all A-zone hits, you're doing great. If your muscle memory is to get all A-zone hits, your time will shorten and you will improve eventually. If you have horrible hits, you can get faster, but not better. Procedurals. These happen when you make a procedural mistake, such as failing to engage a target, failing to follow the course description, or engaging a target while having stepped over a fault line, or bumping into a fault line, or falling over a fault line. All of these can be avoided by walking the stage. When your squad arrives to a stage, put your gear down, read the course description, or wait for the RO to explain it to you, and then walk it. Figure out the mandatory parts, and then figure out what is the least time-consuming way to complete the rest of the course around what the mandatory parts are. And walk your stage exactly how you're about to shoot it. This is a mental sport as well, so walking it takes out some of the thinking and eliminates little mistakes that can cost you really big in a match. The most important part of anything that has to do with guns, safety. If you're holstering your empty gun for the first time before you start a match, make sure you are facing a berm and the muzzle is as well, while you are handling your empty gun into its holster. When it is your turn to shoot at the beginning of each stage, the RO will approach you when you are at the starting position for that stage. Usually you can tell who they are because they have like a clipboard, a timer, and all of your score sheets. They will then tell you to prepare and make ready. That is the only time you take your gun out of its holster. You will then load it, rack one into the chamber, and reholster. When the RO says, "Shooter ready, stand by," you will then hear a beep, and that's when you can start to shoot the stage. And shoot it exactly the way you rehearsed by walking it. When you have completed the stage, the RO will instruct you to show clear. That means that you release your mag, rack your slide back, showing empty chamber, let your slide forward, and depress your trigger while aiming down range. And then holster your gun. Do not touch your gun until the RO instructs you to do so on the next stage. So it stays in your holster the whole time. So that is the basics of USPSA. Again, just the basics of competition shooting with USPSA. If you have any other questions, such as where matches are, rules and guidelines, match results, or any other questions, visit USPSA.org. Thanks for watching and hope to see you out there. When it comes to modifying guns, there's only one company and, of course, one man that I would trust. So I brought in Taryn Butler. How do you feel the Glock 43 stands up against the other carry guns on the market right now?
Well, all of them are excellent. To me, these are like the three primary little pocket carry 9mm, and all of them are excellent guns. I wouldn't feel bad carrying any of these guns. Starting with probably the shortest of them all is the car arms.
Okay, we're done.